So, a lot of the reason why I had a 25-year smoking and drinking addiction with a slew of other things that came with that is because I had a broken heart. And life is not perfect. God never promised that we would live a perfect life because we live in an imperfect world. So, yeah. Now, I promise this is not a sob story. Light up with me. So I went through my childhood and my adulthood not being loved properly. So I didn't learn how to love myself and I didn't know how to love others properly. It was like a false narrative or like a false reality of what I thought was love. So I ended up developing unhealthy patterns and unhealthy habits when it came down to being in relationships and also when it came down to taking care of me. Now, I knew something was wrong with me mentally and emotionally as well as spiritually because I just never felt complete. I never felt whole. And I used to look at television shows and movies, even though I know that's fake, but I used to be like, yo, I don't have that. I don't have what they have as a family unit. I don't have what they have as a couple. Like I know something's missing. When in all reality, I was missing God. I was missing the fullness of God's love in my life. Even though it was there, I just hadn't accepted it. But it was always available to me. I was just in my own little bubble, in my own little world of, what was me. Now, November of 2024, the very beginning of November, I remember I was just fed up. I was like I felt stuck. I felt like out of place. I felt like I wasn't going nowhere. My life was stagnant. I was depressed. I was very highly anxious. So, I had a conversation with God and I was like, God, like I'm stuck. I'm depressed. I don't feel loved. I don't feel like I belong. I don't even know what my purpose is. All I'm doing is drinking and smoking every day. I was really getting sick of that, but I was addicted and I couldn't break the addiction myself. And I was just like, I was sad. I went through a slew of breakups, failed relationships. I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy as how I was mothering. I wasn't happy with my career. I didn't have peace. I didn't have peace. And I was sad. I was lonely and I didn't have I didn't have peace. And I just remember going on this tangent, like this rant to God. Mind you, I'm kind of litty, but I don't care. I don't care where you are in your walk. Don't ever stop talking to God. I don't care if you don't feel like you are worthy of talking to God. Always talk to God because He hears you. So I was going off on a tangent and I was just like, God, you're not hearing me, you're not understanding. I don't know if I'm invisible to you or what, but my life sucks. Like it sucks so bad. Not only does it suck so bad, but like I'm mentally I'm gone. I'm not even on earth anymore. That's how I was feeling. So like the very next day, I gotta go to work. I'm hungover. I'm not feeling it. I go to work, sit in my office. I'm minding my business, not talking to nobody. So I decide to scroll on Instagram. And I scrolled on Instagram. I see this girl. She posted something about a sheep. I don't know, it just caught my attention. And it was basically about the parable in the Bible of how God leaves the 99 for the one. And when you get a chance to look it up. But all of a sudden, it's like time stopped. It's like time froze because none of the phones in the offices were ringing. Nobody was walking back and forth by my office like they usually do. And I was just stuck looking at this story on Instagram. And all of a sudden, this wave of warm energy, like it just flooded me. Like it flooded me. And I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. All I could do is hear the story of the parable of how God leaves the 99 sheep for the one that wandered off. And I kid you not, I heard a voice. It wasn't an audible voice, it was like a voice from within, but it was a masculine voice, but very soft and gentle. But I heard it loud and clear, and it said, "You are my sheep. You are the one. I left the 99 for you." And I just started crying like crazy. And mind you, time has stopped. Time is frozen. There's nothing going on outside of my office. Like I know it was just me and God. in my office, and he was just overflowing me with this crazy amount of love like I've never felt before. I was completely overwhelmed. I couldn't stop crying, but this feeling I felt was like it was better than a high. It was better than any type of feeling that you've ever had. I can't even describe it. There's no words in the English language or human language for me to even interpret it the way I was feeling, the way God had me feeling. And God was letting me know right then and there that He was healing my broken heart, that He loved me so much, and that He wanted me. Even though I was like reckless, even though I was a wild mess, even though I was like a crazy sinner and I was lukewarm, He wanted me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like for real, like you want me. It was wild. After being submerged in all of that love and all of God's glory, at my desk, I was like, oh my goodness, like God, you hear me. You're always there. Even when I be going off on my tangents, you're listening. Because I be going off on tangents sometimes. But yeah, Psalms 147:3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and He binds up their wounds. And He truly, truly does. He healed my broken heart. Now, what I will definitely say is, after that experience, I was like, you know what? I need to just surrender to God. Did I do it right then and there? No, I did not. Because God had to keep doing some work on me. I was kind of hard headed and stubborn, but God heard me the whole time. He took away my addictions. Like, what's crazy is he was dissecting me and he was healing me like daily. This was like a daily journey. Like, I mean, from him telling me to throw away, like, paraphernalia of pornography, for me to renounce soul ties, for me to stop smoking and drinking, like the things that he was doing to me, it was daily. These were a daily things of shedding. And it was after that experience, I was like, oh my God, God, you doing your big one. Because I know I'm not doing this on my own. But what I'm saying to you is he hears you, he knows all about it. Just don't lose hope in God. Don't lose faith. Keep talking to God. Keep praying to God. But most importantly, do your part. If God tells you to do something, do it. If He tells you to let go of certain things, let Him go because He wants to replace that. He wants to fulfill what it is that you feel like you don't have fulfillment in. He wants to give you all of Him. So, yeah, I just want to leave you with that. He heals the brokenhearted. So, there's no excuse for you to keep living with a broken heart. Love you. Thank you for lighting up with me.